This is News 8 Now, this morning.
This tuition increase isn't going to change that. We will still be the best value of any public university system in the Midwest.
I hear an awful lot about the importance of, shared revenue. I hear an awful lot about the importance of education, of good roads and bridges, to make sure that we have lower prescription drug costs. Those are issues I hear a lot about. There's other issues as well.
They're living documents. We are hearing people who live history. And we can learn so much from the lessons of the Holocaust about how to treat other people and the importance of accepting other people's differences.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye-opener with some of the stories we'll be covering today. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is March 21st, Tuesday. Everyone got through their Monday, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
No problems.
No problems.
What can we expect with the weather today, Derek?
Well, we are expecting that we're going to be looking at limited sunshine, so we're not going to really see. I know. We're all waiting for that just consecutive days of sunshine. That will probably be, maybe more towards May and June in the summertime and things like that. But yeah, we're looking at mainly cloudy skies here so far this morning, and it does look like this trend will only continue with the clouds here as we progress throughout the day. Now, there are some locations, though, that may see some peaks of sun by the early afternoon here today, but for the most part, I can tell you, at least right now, we're looking at the increasing cloud cover moving in from the south this morning. Current temperatures are into the upper 20s to the north, low to mid 30s down to the south, including La Crosse. You're currently at 34. Meanwhile, to the north again in Eau Claire, 28 is your current temperature, 31 in Prairie du Chien, 33 Boscobel, and 31 currently in Viroqua so far. We should be warming up into the mid-30s by 9 o'clock, still very cloudy, but look between 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We start to see some peaks of sun there, partly cloudy skies, temperatures into the low to mid-40s, but then by 3 o'clock, we're going to turn mostly cloudy yet again with highs around 48 degrees, and then pretty much cloudy throughout the rest of the day as we head into the early evening hours by 7 o'clock this evening. But overall, pretty seasonable, though, in terms of our temperatures. Just not going to really see a whole lot of sun. We'll talk about the full weather forecast, and I'll have more as far as what we could see here as we head into tonight, because we could be talking some rain or snow. Those details and more in just a bit. Sophia?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. A house fire has taken place in La Crosse County near the border of Monroe County. The fire department responded to the incident around 3 this morning. We will report more information as it becomes available. For the past 10 years, the University of Wisconsin system colleges have been in a tuition freeze. That could end at the beginning of next school year. As News 8 Now Dua Israr reports, the UW system president says the proposal for a, quote, modest tuition hike is due to inflation.
There are some things Wisconsinites learn to appreciate growing up in the dairy state.
Because I know a big draw to UWL or just the UW system for me was just the affordability.
One of those things is the UW system.
We discovered, not surprisingly, that we were the best value of any public institution in the Midwest.
For the past decade, the University of Wisconsin system colleges have been in a tuition freeze.
Definitely don't like the increase.
At the start of the 2023 to 2024 academic school year, that freeze could end and students may see up to a 5% increase in tuition and fees.
When you're living in inflationary times, the last year at 8%, this year at 6%, we really needed to have additional funding in order to provide the quality of education our students deserve and our parents expect.
University of Wisconsin La Crosse students will see tuition increase to roughly $9,500.
People who may be in lower socioeconomic situations, that could be definitely something they have to consider, and maybe something that might draw them away from La Crosse.
Some students say they're concerned about the increase.
Like the student loans that I'll take out and how I can afford college then. Especially like this, as degrees get more expensive, it's harder to pay for them.
Rothman says students will be given additional financial aid opportunities.
This tuition increase isn't going to change that. We will still be the best value of any public university system in the Midwest.
Reporting in La Crosse, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
Tuition increase will vary across the board for all 13 UW system schools. UW-Madison will be the most expensive school at just over $11,000 per semester. The Board of Regents will meet at the end of the month to go over the proposal. Out-of-state tuition will also increase, but that amount has not been announced. A La Crosse County judge has been named a chief judge for Western Wisconsin. Wisconsin Supreme Court has appointed La Crosse County Circuit Judge Scott Horn as chief judge of the 7th Judicial District. That district oversees 15 western Wisconsin counties. Before taking the bench in La Crosse County in 2007, Horn was La Crosse's DA for 22 years. He officially starts in August. Democratic lawmakers representing the Cooley region hosted a listening session to hear what the public wants to be a priority in the next state biannual budget. La Crosse residents met with State Senator Brad Pfaff and La Crosse Assemblywoman Jill Billings to discuss concerns from housing and school funding to public transportation. Pfaff says a night like this is a reminder for lawmakers to take time to hear concerns from voters who aren't always the most vocal.
I hear an awful lot about the importance of, shared revenue. I hear an awful lot about the importance of education, of good roads and bridges, to make sure that we have lower prescription drug costs. Those are issues I hear a lot about, but there's other issues as well.
Several participants also brought up Medicaid costs, the difficulties of voting for people with disabilities, and challenges caused by roundabouts, especially for those with visual impairments. The Republican-controlled Budget Committee is working on their version of the budget to eventually send to the governor for revisions. Although it wasn't discussed in the forum, a new study emphasizes the damaging effects of forever chemicals known as PFAS. A new health study says PFAS in the blood of children had a big impact on child development, including a change in metabolism and hormone function. Pfaff says the state has to invest in removing these chemicals from everyday surfaces and items.
For additional testing of private wells to make sure that we can have remediation of these private wells, to make sure that we put in place a filtration system so we can screen out this PFAS, this forever chemical, and we need to make sure that we find a long-term proper disposal of these forever chemicals.
Governor Evers called for a $100 million investment into Pfaff's prevention and awareness efforts in his budget proposal. Pfaff says he's hopeful the legislature will be on the same page. Toma Health is joining a UW-Madison program to address a rural shortage of pharmacists. UW launched the Advanced Pharmacy Experience in 2021 to rotate students in their 4th year into rural pharmacies to get hands-on experience with a supervisor. Toma Health is one of several participating healthcare facilities in Wisconsin, and the organization is introducing their newest addition to the program tomorrow. A survivor of the Holocaust will speak at VITERBO's annual Teaching the Holocaust workshop on Thursday. 94-year-old Peter Fiegel is this year's speaker. His family fled several countries to escape oppression, but he lost his parents at a concentration camp when he was a child. Fiegel was hidden in France and eventually crossed the border into Switzerland and immigrated to the United States in 1946. This is his 2nd time sharing his story with our community.
They're living documents. We are hearing people who lived history. And we can learn so much from the lessons of the Holocaust about how to treat other people and the importance of accepting other people's differences.
Holocaust educator Daryl Klotz says to prepare to feel inspired. If you'd like to hear Fiegel speak, it starts at 7 Thursday evening at VITERBO's Fine Arts Center. Doors open at 6:15. Seating is limited, and Klotz recommends you come early. A stretch of La Crosse's South Avenue will close for 2 nights later this week, Thursday and Friday from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. The segment of South Avenue between Jackson Street and Ward Avenue will close while crews do some utility work. Drivers should use Jackson Street and Losey Boulevard to avoid the closure. A quick reminder today, the candidates for the open Wisconsin Supreme Court seat engage in their only debate. Former Justice Daniel Kelly and Milwaukee County Judge Janet Protozewicz will meet at the State Bar Center in Madison at 12:45. Our sister station in Madison will be airing the debate today at 4 p.m. Both candidates' campaigns have been ramping up attack ads in the last few weeks. When Kelly visits La Crosse earlier this month, he called Protozewicz a politician dressed in a black robe. Protozewicz has been vocal in her support of abortion rights, which has become a main topic with the lawsuit currently challenging Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban. The election's winner will determine the court's majority. Today in Viroqua, the new Viroqua Area Schools Early Learning Center will be unveiled. The ribbon-cutting ceremony will be at 10 a.m. this morning, and government officials including State Senator Brad Pfaff and Governor Evers will be in attendance. The Department of Children and Families will also be in attendance. Staff are excited to finally showcase the new facility and are happy to open its doors to the public. Still ahead on your morning news, why you might be paying more rent for less space in an apartment. We'll explain. And the tips you need to make up for that hour of sleep you lost from daylight savings. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. If you're looking to put a smile on your face, maybe head over to Finland. For the 6th year in a row, Finland was the world's happiest country according to World Happiness Report rankings. In life expectancy, social support systems, and overall freedoms, Finland topped other countries. Other top nations included Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, and Norway. The U.S. came in at number 15. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're looking at mainly cloudy skies here this morning across the Cooley region, and things are expected to stay that way for much of the day, with temperatures into the upper 40s, and even some locations like West Salem and Bangor could even hit the low 50s in La Crosse County. Meanwhile, further south in our southern zones, we're looking at highs mainly into the low 50s here. High temperatures into the upper 40s, low 50s across our central zones. It'll be 48, though, in La Crosse. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire and the Chippewa Valley, high temperatures today into the low 40s. And a lot of locations will be looking similar, with the only exceptions up towards the north near Ladysmith, probably looking at highs today mainly into the mid-30s, however. So for your dog walking conditions, we are looking cloudy here for much of the morning. Skies will continue to remain that way up until around the afternoon. We could be looking at some partial clearing. Skies may turn briefly mostly sunny before turning cloudy as we head into the evening hours, but overall looking pretty dry. And really the same could be said here off to school this morning. 34 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. On the way back home, we should be looking at temperatures at around 48 degrees while still remaining under the mainly cloudy side of things. So we'll talk more about this in the full weather forecast still to come. I'll let you know if we could be looking at some rain and snow here moving through tonight in some spots. That and more coming up in a few minutes.
In your consumer news this morning, the cost of living has gone up significantly during the pandemic. For many Americans renting apartments, the cost for an apartment is so expensive that renters are forced to search for a roommate as well. Experts say that a low minimum wage is a reason why many can't afford apartments in larger cities. On top of all that, apartments are getting smaller. Increased construction of studio and one-bedroom units has made it harder to house for renters. Foot Locker is downsizing. The company has announced it plans to close about 400 stores by 2026. Despite the change, Foot Locker also is looking towards the future. The company says it will focus on different types of sneaker shoppers, people who wear sneakers for fashion, others who are looking for athletic performance, and customers who want quality and comfort. Foot Locker marks its 50th anniversary next year. Yesterday was the first day of spring, and if you're looking to travel, pack your patience and some extra cash. Recent studies show spring break may be the busiest travel season ever for the airline industry this year. 10 major airlines, including Delta and Southwest, are expected to carry a record number of passengers this season. Experts say you can experience longer lines and busier travel destinations depending on where you're flying to. It's that time of year when many of us feel like we're still trying to make up for that lost hour of sleep with the time change. Help could be on the way thanks to Consumer Reports on which sleep products are worth the money.
From sleep masks to mattress toppers, there's an endless array of products promising a good night's sleep for a price. But according to Consumer Reports, someone's dream sleep setup could be someone else's nightmare.
So for starters, you want a supportive mattress and a pillow. Those are a must. We've also found that where you sleep, so your sleep environment, plays a big role in the quality of your sleep.
How do you figure out what's right for you? Take noise, for example. Some people need complete silence, while others prefer steady background noise. If the latter sounds like you, CR just enlisted 5 light sleeping staffers to try out 4 white noise machines.
If you have a fan, you can reap some of the same benefits of a white noise machine without having to spend the extra money.
If you want to give a white noise machine a try, CR's evaluator said this Magic Team is inexpensive, easy to use, compact, and offers a variety of sounds. Another sleep splurge? A mattress topper. CR's recent test looked at softness and measured how much heat each topper retained, a concern for people that tend to sleep hot or cold. This linen spa mattress topper was the coolest in CR's tests, but a word of advice.
Even the comfiest topper can't completely fix a mattress that needs to be replaced. So just keep that in mind before you spend any money.
Consumer Reports puts hundreds of mattresses through extensive testing and found several standouts that cost under $1,000, including this inner spring from Denver Mattress. And if you prefer a firmer mattress, this Sleep-On Latex. Both scored very well in CR's durability tests and offered notable support for both back and side sleepers of different sizes.
That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sophia. Sure is a pretty cloudy start here this morning across the Cooley region. Current temperatures now in La Crosse are at 34 degrees. We have visibilities looking good for that morning commute at around 10 miles. Now, meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, we're currently at 28. However, it does feel like it's 19 degrees when you factor in the wind chill, thanks to that easterly wind at around 9 miles an hour. We do have some cloudy weather here moving in from the west, and that's really all associated with this trough of low pressure developing across the west here as well. And you can see it does have an associated warm front. This warm front is going to be responsible for producing possibly some light snow showers, but this is mainly going to be focused well to the north. Around 8 o'clock, though, still looking very cloudy, so it's really not until around noon today where we start to watch some of those developing snow showers, but it looks like it's going to be mainly focused well to the north around the Ladysmith area and even north of that here too as that warm front continues to lift towards the north. Now, meanwhile, we'll be watching out for some scattered rain showers near the Black River Falls and Sparta area around 4 o'clock, while the rest of us will be mainly cloudy. The cloud cover will continue as we head into this evening as well. Now, as we take you around 11 o'clock tonight, here comes that main system of that low towards the west. That could be producing some rain showers and, yes, even some snow showers. But that snow is more than likely going to be focused here north of Eau Claire around the Ladysmith area, while the rest of us will be looking at some rain showers, but mainly north here as well for Eau Claire. Slight chance of a shower is still possible near the La Crosse area as we head into overnight tonight around 3 o'clock. Now, as we head into tomorrow morning around 6 o'clock, it does look like a lot of this will exit the area, while the rest of us will just be looking at mainly cloudy skies. Not a whole lot of snow is expected either, as that snow here is mainly going to be focused to the north, only around a trace, maybe 1 to 2 inches perhaps around the Ladysmith area. No snow here for everyone else. Now, as far as how much rain we could see, again, very light here too. We're thinking around less than 1/10 of an inch here of rain here, with higher totals mainly focused again towards the north. So you can see as that warm front moves north, here comes some of those snow showers for tomorrow afternoon, mainly focused to the north. As the main low pressure system continues to move east, we'll be watching that rain and snow here potential as we head into tonight into early tomorrow morning. Now, I do want to show you this next system though, because that could give us a chance of snow here as we head into early Thursday. So we're talking Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, and also into the afternoon before it clears out, because as you can see, high pressure moves in as we head into later in the day on Thursday into Thursday night, and that should help dry us out and calm the weather down a little bit there. 8-day forecast showing that highs will be into the 40s and 50s, low temperatures in the 20s and 30s. And after we get through these precipitation chances Wednesday and Thursday, we're talking partly to mostly cloudy for your Friday through the weekend here as well. All right, so stay tuned. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break with a look at what happened in this day in history for March 21st. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. The high school basketball season came to an end over the weekend. We had Luther bringing home a gold ball. West Salem took home second. And then yesterday, the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association released their list of all-state players for each division, and we had a ton. Let's take a look. Starting with Division II, after a second straight state run and being named MVC Player of the Year, Lacrosse Central point guard Nick Williams landed first-team status. And then down the road in Onalaska, it was Evan Anderson making the team. He averaged 19 points and 5 rebounds a game for the Hilltoppers. In Division III, we've got a couple of West Salem Panthers making first team. First with Carson Kepnick, a key guard in West Salem's balanced offense. His second time making the team, and every guard needs a big. Peter Latos held it down in the paint. The versatile wing even eclipsed the 1,000-point mark during the state tournament. Division IV, after being crowned state champ, Luther senior Cody Miller made the team. He averaged 17 points a game for the Knights, and his backcourt duo, Isaiah Schwittenberg, also named to the team. He was often asked to guard the other team's best perimeter player, and more often than not, shut them down. And then Bangor's Tanner Jones also making the team. He was named Scenic Bluffs Conference Player of the Year while averaging 17 points for the Cardinals. And lastly, Division V, Wazeeka Steuben Seth Bunders was the only area guy on the team. He averaged 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. He also had 53 points in their sectional semifinal game. A quick look at our honorable mentions. In Division II, Bennett Freed from Central and TJ Stutley from Onalaska made it. In D3, Cody Schmitz from GET. For D4, Luke Bagley and Devin McCune from Whitehall, Logan Barr from Luther, and Walter Burns from Aquinas. And our honorable mentions in D5, Evan Payne from Seneca and Ashton Path from New Lisbon. NBA action last night, Timberwolves against the Knicks. Minnesota trails, but Torian Prince from beyond the arc. That gives the Timberwolves the lead. And Prince was lining it up all night. Second quarter, Prince again from deep. That's all net. Wolves up 17, but he wasn't done. Close game late in the fourth. Find Prince wide open again. Buries it. Prince 8 for 8 from three-point land, 35 points on the night for him as Minnesota snaps their 3-game losing streak. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, China's President Xi Jinping received a warm welcome on Monday in Moscow ahead of his meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin. It was Xi's first visit since Putin launched his invasion into Ukraine last year. The meeting comes as concerns grow that China may start sending lethal weapons for Russians to use against Ukrainians. Despite their relationship, China's president is treading lightly, and he hasn't provided lethal aid to Russia, though the U.S. says he may consider it. The world is rapidly approaching catastrophic levels of heating. That's according to a new report backed by the United Nations. The science is not new, but it paints a very clear picture of where the world is heading. The report says the impact of plant heating pollution is already more severe than expected. On Monday, the Secretary General of the United Nations said time is running out. The biggest threat to climate change is that burning fossil fuels continues. The Department of Health and Human Services has created a new office to help victims of domestic violence. The office will help victims of domestic, intimate partner, and dating violence. It will offer prevention programs, survival services, and offer help to the whole family. Officials say the new office demonstrates the Biden administration's commitment to providing support to families experiencing violence and trauma. Republican Governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, signed a bill that will create a monument commemorating unborn children. The governor's office says the monument is for those aborted during the era of Roe versus Wade. The Secretary of State will have to approve of the monument, which will sit on state capitol grounds. According to a Senate bill, the monument will come at no expense to the state of Arkansas. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, supporters of abortion rights chanted outside the House chamber as lawmakers inside were set to debate the Reproductive Freedom Defense Act. The legislation would prohibit extraditing, arresting, or releasing medical records for someone from another state who sought a legal abortion in Minnesota. 13 states ban abortion, including Minnesota's neighbors in South Dakota. For example, providers and patients can face felony charges.
For the first time ever, I regularly care for patients from Texas, Alabama, Wyoming, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and the list goes on and on. Our new abortion landscape since the Dobbs decision is dangerous.
The state legislature is also considering a bill to reverse abortion restrictions on the books, including those nullified by a court, like a 24-hour waiting period and parental notification. In Minneapolis, the Leona M. and Harry B. Hemsley Charitable Trust will announce a multi-million grant initiative to fund medical equipment for nearly 100 hospitals and health clinics across rural Minnesota and provide workforce training. The Charitable Trust aims to improve lives by supporting the health world throughout the U.S. The innovative products connect rural patients to emergency medical care, bring the latest medical therapies to patients, and provide training for rural hospitals and EMS personnel. Staffing shortages, fair wages, and safety for patients are concerns for the nurses at Unity Point Health Meritor as they renegotiate their contract. Rallying outside of the hospital, hoping for their bosses to listen to their demands. Catherine Merrick has more from the nurses and how the hospitals are responding.
We know we have the power when we stand together and when our community stands with us.
Dozens of Meritor nurses gathered outside the hospital wanting improvements at their workplace.
Nurses are united in asking for some changes.
At today's rally, these nurses said they're fighting for multiple things, including Juneteenth and MLK Day holidays, better staffing ratios, and fair raises that reflect inflation.
We need to have a voice in the committees that the hospital has. We need to be involved with the decision-making process because right now the decisions are coming down from the top and we don't have involvement.
When do we want contracts? When do we want it? Now! They can do their jobs best at places where management and administration take seriously the expertise and the voices of nurses.
These nurses hope their chants and cries for change will create some improvements for them and their patients.
We hope they listen and they start to move a little bit on our demand for having a voice.
Today's rally comes as UW Health nurses continue to fight for their union to be recognized. Meritor Health nurses thanked UW Health nurses for their support.
Unity Point Health Meritor says, quote, "We are still in the middle of our negotiation process to finalize a new fair contract with SEIU of Wisconsin. We have a long history of successfully negotiating contracts with SEIU, and our goal is always to keep negotiating and moving forward." In Wisconsin, Attorney General Josh Kaul is leading the charge among almost 22 attorneys across the U.S. to demand that Kia and Hyundai take action to prevent car thefts. Kaul said at a press conference in Milwaukee that the cars are being stolen more easily than other models because manufacturers fail to equip their vehicles with anti-theft immobilizers. He says the thefts are connected to other crimes which further endanger the public.
The vehicle theft part of this is a major problem and reason enough to respond. But there's more that's happening. These vehicles are then, after they're stolen, are used for reckless driving, and they're also used in the commission of other serious crimes.
Kaul said thefts of Hyundais and Kias in Minneapolis has increased by more than 800% in 2022 over the last year. And St. Louis County saw more than 1,000% increase in Kia and Hyundais being stolen from 2021 to 2022. Women may get a shot at high school football in Wisconsin, all thanks to the state's beloved NFL Green Bay Packers inviting Sun Prairie West to join their inaugural Packers Girls Flag Football program. The goal of the program is to give girls the opportunity to play football and eventually to make it to a WIAA-sanctioned sport.
Right now there's 8 states that have girls flag football sanctioned as a high school sport. The end goal for us is to hope that this is going to be the spark that continues to grow the interest of girls flag in the state of Wisconsin.
Sun Prairie High School quarterback Luciana Marina says the event could make a difference.
It could change the future because if this becomes a sport in the WIAA, that would be amazing for girls to go out for flag football.
It wasn't just a big day for the high school girls. For Chelsea Alt, the wide receivers coach for the men's football team at Sun Prairie West, coaching the first girls flag football team is an opportunity she's been waiting for.
It's something that I've always wanted to do my entire life, and it's just awesome to see these girls out here having an opportunity that I never had, something I'm going to look forward to, and something I'll have as a memory for the rest of my life, and same with these girls.
Sun Prairie West is one of 10 schools the Green Bay Packers invited to their Girls Flag Open.
Well, for today, I am expecting pretty seasonable conditions with a high of about 48 under mostly cloudy skies. East-southeast winds today at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, though, temperatures still looking fairly seasonable, around 36 degrees. Cloudy skies and some showers are also possible. Meanwhile, those winds at the south-southeast at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. So for your zone forecast today, we're looking at highs into the upper 40s, low 50s in La Crosse County with 53 today in West Salem. Meanwhile, down in the south, Soldiers Grove at 53. Stoddard today at 53 as well. Going to be looking at highs mainly into the low 50s, though, across our central locations. 52 today in Trempealeau. Meanwhile, across our northern zones near the Chippewa Valley today, highs into the low to mid 40s with 44 if you're in Eau Claire this afternoon. As far as your drivecast goes, we are looking at those cloudy skies here to start with this morning. Mostly sunny here for your lunch hour, but we will be turning cloudy again, though, as we head into your evening hour commute. So we're watching out for a chance of some rain, maybe even some snow for tonight. We'll talk about that coming up in a last look in your full weather forecast after the break. But also coming up in our Buzz Report, the unstoppable assassin who's back in theaters on Friday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Pretty quiet start here behind me from City Cam 8, but it is a little cloudy outside. In fact, we're looking at mainly cloudy skies across the area. Temperatures at 34 degrees currently in La Crosse. Visibility, though, looking good. 10 miles crystal clear there for your driving commute. Temperatures to the north in Eau Claire at 28 degrees, but it does feel like 19 when you factor in the wind chill, thanks to that easterly wind at around 9 miles an hour. You can see all the cloudy skies again moving in across the Coulee region from the west, and this is all associated with a warm front near a low pressure system back towards the west, and this front is going to be responsible to lift north, possibly give us some snow showers to work with as we head into the afternoon hours. But this is mainly going to be focused to the north. We'll time it out here first by 8 o'clock, and you can see some cloudy skies. Here comes the snow, mainly to the north along that warm front as it continues to lift north, while the rest of us are just going to be looking at some widespread cloud cover, which will continue as we head into the afternoon hours. A few scattered rain showers, that is, across portions of Black River Falls and Sparta around 4 o'clock, while the rest of us deal with cloud cover. Cloudy skies will linger as we head into this evening here as well. And then we're going to be watching that main low pressure system back towards the west, because you can see some showers here are associated with it, even some snow here too. You can see the rain moving in overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning around 3 o'clock around the Eau Claire area. Meanwhile, some snow possible towards the Ladysmith area during that time. The rest of us probably not really looking at a whole lot of precipitation, but slight chances are possible before the main axis clears out by 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And then the rest of us just looking at those mainly cloudy weather conditions. Not a whole lot of snow associated with this system. Main snow will be up towards Ladysmith, around 1 to 2 inches possible for you, but the rest of us around a trace here around Chippewa, and the rest of us not looking at any snow at all whatsoever, especially the further south you are. We're looking at rainfall totals anywhere between around less than 1/10 of an inch to around a trace or so. Some higher totals of rain here, mainly focused towards the north. And again, it's thanks to this front here moving in across the area associated with that low. You can see some of those snow showers forming just along that frontal boundary for tomorrow afternoon, mainly focused to the north though. Now, as it continues to move in our general direction, you can see some rain, snow showers associated with it as we head into tomorrow night into, or as we head into tonight rather, into early tomorrow morning. Now, as we take you into tomorrow night into early Thursday, this is our next system that we're watching, and you can see it does contain some snow showers, possibly mixing with some rain here at times as well. This will continue into early Thursday afternoon before high pressure moves in from the north, and that will help dry us out here as we head into the later week. And you'll see that here on the 8-day forecast. After we get through some of those precipitation chances over the next coming days, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies for Friday and this weekend. Highs into the 40s and low 50s, and lows into the 20s and low 30s.
In In our morning buzz report, Ted Lasso fans, how would you like to spend the night at AFC Richmond's favorite pub? The Crown and Anchor is going on Airbnb for 3 nights to celebrate season 3 that just dropped on Apple TV+. You and up to 3 of your mates can have a pint, play darts, and even try some of Ted's famous biscuits with tea, or as Ted calls it, garbage water. The 3 nights available is from October 23rd to the 25th. The listing goes live on Airbnb today.
How goes the Grand Farewell Tour?
Coming to an end.
An assassin's quest for freedom and peace continues this weekend. Keanu Reeves is back on the big screen in the 4th film in the John Wick franchise. The film once again reunites Reeves with his Matrix co-star Lawrence Fishburne. The star says that the film took 9 months of shooting and that his martial arts have improved over that period of time. John Wick Chapter 4 hits theaters on Friday.
Ginger hair. Really short. He stutters. That guy doesn't become a pop star.
Ed Sheeran is taking fans on his life's journey in his new docuseries, Ed Sheeran, The Sum of It All. The 4-part series follows Sheeran from childhood to superstardom. It debuts on Disney Plus on May 3rd, just 2 days ahead of the release of his new album, Subtract. Snoop Dogg is expanding his business empire to include coffee. The rapper and entrepreneur plans to businessman to market and sell products made from Indonesian coffee beans. The name of the company is Indo XYZ. Snoop Dogg says he has a long-time love of coffee, going back to long nights working in the music studio. The coffee venture will be alongside Snoop Dogg's other businesses, including a wine label, cannabis products, pet accessories, and gluten-free cereal. I didn't know he was that big of a business guy.
Yeah,
I knew he had a wine company.
Right, okay.
But other than that, I didn't know. Gluten-free cereal?
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's getting more and more into the business side of things, just like some of these athletes are doing as well. And now you're kind of seeing it from music artists. So, pretty neat.
Cool. Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Happy 8 months to Cody. Cody loves to play in his jumper and hang out with his brother.
Happy 80th birthday to Lars. Lars enjoys tending to the farm and hanging out with family.
Happy 88th birthday to Pat. Pat loves to go walking and search for items at rummage sales in the summer.
If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Time for your morning news now. The cost of living has gone up significantly during the pandemic. For many Americans renting apartments, the cost for an apartment is so expensive that renters are forced to search for a roommate as well. Experts say that a low minimum wage is a reason why many can't afford apartments in larger cities. On top of all that, apartments are getting smaller. Increased construction of studio and 1-bedroom units has made it harder to house for renters. Democratic lawmakers representing the Cooley region hosted a listening session to hear what the public wants to be a priority in the next state biannual budget. La Crosse residents met with State Senator Brad Pfaff and La Crosse Assemblywoman Jill Billings to discuss concerns from housing and school funding to public transportation. Pfaff says a night like this is a reminder for lawmakers to take the time to hear concerns from voters who aren't always the most vocal.
I hear an awful lot about the importance of, shared revenue. I hear an awful lot about the importance of education, of good roads and bridges, to make sure that we have lower prescription drug costs. Those are issues I hear a lot about, but there's other issues as well.
Several participants also brought up Medicaid costs, the difficulties of voting for people with disabilities, and challenges caused by roundabouts, especially for those with visual impairments. The Republican-controlled Budget Committee is working on their version of the budget to eventually send to the governor for revisions. A survivor of the Holocaust will speak at VITERBO's annual Teaching the Holocaust workshop on Thursday. 94-year-old Peter Fiegel is this year's speaker. His family fled several countries to escape oppression, but he lost his parents at a concentration camp when he was a child. Fiegel was hidden in France and eventually crossed the border into Switzerland and immigrated to the United States in 1946. This is his second time sharing his story with our community.
They're living documents. We are hearing people who lived history. And we can learn so much from the lessons of the Holocaust about how to treat other people and the importance of accepting other people's differences.
Holocaust educator Daryl Klotz says to prepare to feel inspired. If you'd like to hear Fiegel speak, it starts at 7 Thursday evening at VITERBO's Fine Arts Center. Doors open at 6:15, seating is limited, and Klotz recommends you come early. A stretch of La Crosse's South Avenue will close for 2 nights later this week, Thursday and Friday from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. The segment of South Avenue between Jackson Street and Ward Avenue will close while crews do some utility work. Drivers should use Jackson Street and Losey Boulevard to avoid the closure. Today in Viroqua, the new Viroqua Area Schools Early Learning Center will be unveiled. The ribbon-cutting ceremony will be at 10 a.m. this morning, and government officials, including State Senator Brad Pfaff and Governor Evers, will be in attendance. The Department of Children and Families will also be in attendance. Staff are excited to finally showcase the new facility and are happy to open its doors to the public.
As you head out the door this morning, temperatures are in the 30s under those mainly cloudy skies. It's going to continue to remain cloudy through at least 9 o'clock this morning. Now we could see a little bit of clearing between around 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock this afternoon, followed by mainly cloudy skies again between 3 and 7 o'clock. So overall, a pretty cloudy day to say the least, with seasonable temperatures as highs will be mainly into the 40s this afternoon. For tomorrow, we are looking at highs around 50, mostly cloudy. We are watching for a chance of some rain and a little bit of snow here as we head into tomorrow night into early Thursday. Other than that, the rest of the week, mainly cloudy, highs in the upper 40s, low 50s, lows in the 20s and low 30s.
I will definitely take this mid-40, almost 50-degree weather over what we were dealing with
Absolutely.
2 weeks ago.
Any day of the week, for sure.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for more of those sun graphics to pop up, and they'll come eventually.
Yeah. just going to have to wait a little longer.
The doom and gloom's getting to me.
Yeah,
I know. I need to be outside.
You got to get that vitamin D. It'll happen.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We will have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you for watching us.